Hi, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for doing this today.
Yeah, no worries, no worries at all.
Are you in Nashville right now, or are you at home? Where are you?
No, I'm in Nashville. Yeah, I'm at home here in Nashville. We just got back actually. We were gone for 5.5 weeks. We took the kids to South Africa, so that was quite the adventure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why South Africa?
We've got some friends there that my wife grew up with, but we just love it. We actually took our daughter when she was 8 months old to South Africa. We were very naive parents at that point. um, but yeah, no, we took her. We just wanted to take her back, and my son. So we had a blast. We did some pretty amazing things, and it was a trip of a lifetime.
Wow. I mentioned, are you in Nashville? Are you at home? But is Nashville home for you now? Is Nashville home?
Oh yeah, no, Nashville's been home since like 2008. So I've been here. I've been here a long time. One of my kids was born here. It's just yeah, it's home. I mean, I miss Canada. We have a place in Canada, but Nashville's home for now, anyways.
Yeah. And the story that I read was that you and your dad decided to move to Nashville. Mom stayed back to look after your siblings.
Yeah.
That's a huge life change for a family. How did that come together?
Uh, it was an interesting time. I had just gotten a record deal with the BMG, which I guess is Sony Music now. So did a deal with Sony. Had a record deal in Nashville. Was like label mates with Kenny Chesney. So it was a really cool experience. I was 16 years old. So my dad quit his job as an electronics engineer and moved to Nashville with me. And my mom stayed back home with my mother and sister. And it was it was like 4 years of that.
You had a record deal at 16 years old.
I did. I'd like to think I'm a little better now, but
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 still,
yes.
that's when you think about that. I mean, how many 16-year-olds have got a record deal, right? And that was before
Tail,
YouTube and all that sort of stuff where you could be discovered that way. So how did you
man,
get
like
discovered?
yeah, it's kind of a funny story. So I grew up singing in Southern Ontario, where I'm from, Peterborough, and ended up winning a contest and got to record like a couple songs, like a demo package. And honestly, I was just so naive, and it was a different time back then. I mean, we're talking like early 2000s. I'm aging myself here a little bit, but I literally just put a bunch of CDs in the mail. Believe it or not, you kind of hear these stories. I think Martina McBride got her record deal the same way. She just mailed out CDs to various record companies and praying that someone would listen to it. And someone did listen to mine, believe it or not, and flew me to Nashville. And I guess the rest is history.
Wow. I mentioned to a friend of mine that I would be interviewing you today. And she said, "Oh, yeah, he's great. And he's written songs for like so many other people." And you have like names like Cher, One Direction, Flo Rida. So, how does that happen? Do you sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to write a song for Cher today? Or do you just write the song and then it gets put out there and somebody picks it up, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to sit down and try to write specifically for anybody. I feel when you do that, you're a little bit behind the curve because you're trying to write what that artist has already done. And a lot of times they're trying to take it to the next level. So for me, I just write great songs. The biggest hits that I've had in my career are not something that I tailored towards One Direction or, for instance, like I got a song just recorded by Blake Shelton and Joe Nichols recently. It's called I Got Friends That Do. And first of all, just to hear Blake and Joe sing my song is pretty incredible. But I didn't write the song for either one of them. I just wanted to write a great song.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, if you write something good enough, big stars like that will want to record it.
And does someone call you and say, "Hey, guess what? Blake's picked up your song"?
Yeah, yeah. Usually it's my publisher or one of my co-writers, publishers. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you get those calls. I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of hits as a songwriter, but it never gets old. It really doesn't. I mean, I'm truly blessed to be able to write songs for people like this. It's pretty awesome.
And the Cher one intrigues me just because it's so out of what you would expect. Have you like did you meet Cher? Have you talked to her people, or is that just it's you wrote the song and you were kind of done with it then?
Yeah, I actually wrote that song when I was in the UK. I was down on the coast writing with a friend of mine down there, and it took us 2 or 3 days, and we just wrote a great song. And sure enough, like probably 5 or 6 months later, I get a phone call, and there's like, man, Cher has some changes, some small little changes, but she's gonna record your song, and yeah, I'm like, she can change whatever the hell she wants. I really don't care. she she can change the title of the damn song if she wants. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
And what is the song that you wrote for that so people can check it out?
You know what? It's kind of funny because it has the same title as that old Michelle Wright song. It was called "Take It Like a Man."
Oh, okay.
But it was, I mean, it's obviously not the same song. It's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, we wrote it in a different way, but yeah, it was really, really cool. I've yet to meet her. I didn't get a chance to see her. She was here in Nashville a little while ago on tour, and I think I was in Europe or something, but just having her on my song is good enough for me.
Let's talk about your new song, What Was I Drinking? So how did that song come together?
I wrote that one down in Tulum, Mexico, believe it or not. I actually took a writing trip down there with my producer, Danik, from the band Emerson Drive, and Jimmy, who people will recognize from Sons of Daughters. Yeah, we just wanted to get out of Nashville. I always make my records here, but sometimes it's good to catch a little bit of a different vibe. And we went down to Tulum for a week and we wrote some songs, and that was the first one that we wrote. It's a little bit more country than people are going to be expecting from me, but if you know me, it's not much of a surprise. You know, I love all different kinds of country music and music in general, which I'd say is pretty obvious by my songwriting. And but yeah, I always just follow my songwriting wherever that takes me. And for whatever reason, this record, with some of the songs, it's a little bit more country than people are gonna expect from me.
What were you drinking when you wrote the song?
Everything under the sun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We were down in Mexico, so everything's super cheap. So we probably drank it all. But
right.
Yeah, definitely some tequila during that writing session.
Let me throw a quick couple of quick questions at you. Canadian Open Singing Contest. You competed in that. Where was it held when you competed?
Simcoe, Ontario.
Which is like the big one, right?
Yeah, that's a throwback. My goodness, I haven't heard that name in a long time. I mean, that's where I got my start from ages 10 through 15, is singing in that competition every year. I mean, there's so many artists that had got their start there. The Wilkinsons, Beverly Mahood, a bunch of other folks as well. I think Gil Grand, for those of you who are familiar with him. Yeah, it was a cool way to get my career started and just to give me experience on stage, growing my stage presence. So it's kind of funny you should bring that up.
What would be one of the songs that you would have performed? Can you remember?
Oh, If Tomorrow Never Comes, Garth Brooks, which is still one of my favorite country songs of all time. So there was that one year for sure. I can't remember what else it was, but definitely some Garth.
Who would be a dream to have record one of your songs that you've written?
Kenny Chesney. I think that'd be really cool. You know, Blake Shelton recently recorded one, so that was cool. Just having him sing on a song, that was nice.
I think if you keep writing songs in Mexico, you'll get a Kenny Chesney song out of that eventually, right?
Eventually, if I write enough beach songs, I think I'm gonna get one.
Best mispronunciation of your name?
Tebey.
Tebey.
You know, I can't blame people though, because my name is not really spelt like it's pronounced.
Right.
So I remember in the beginning when I was putting out, when we were getting ready to put out my debut single, we were like, you know, your name is a little weird. We're not going to lie. You know, should we change it? Should we give you a stage name? Because a lot of artists actually have stage names, right? I mean, it's not, a lot of them's not their real names, but you can't really change your first name. You know, all of a sudden, nice to meet you. I'm Mike. It's like,
You're a pretty good football player back in the day, right?
I was.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, man. If Cincinnati wins it, that'd be crazy because they have sucked for so long.
I know.
Like, horrible. And I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, but I wasn't even surprised. I mean, they tend to, shit the bed all the time. I'm probably not allowed to say that, but whatever.
Fine.
Yeah. Oh well.
And 2022, what's happening? I know some of the tour dates have been postponed, but what's the plan for the next 11 months?
Yeah, we had to move a bunch of Ontario dates. Just the constantly changing COVID protocols, venue capacity limits keep changing. So unfortunately, we had to cancel some of the Ontario dates. But I'm going to make it up to everybody in Ontario for sure. It's my home province. I want to play nowhere more than I do in my home province. So we're going to make that up. But yeah, going on tour out in Alberta and Saskatchewan, play some shows. It's just going to be good to get back out there. It's been so long. I played Boots and Hearts this past summer, but even that, it wasn't the same, right? It was a stripped back version just to try to get some live music to people, and hats off to them for doing that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting out on tour, playing this summer. Hopefully summer shows are back. And then the new music, got the new single, What Was I Drinking, that is out. So yeah, lots going on.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you doing this. And we'll be spinning What Was I Drinking on Country FM. And hopefully we'll get to see you soon. Hopefully.
Absolutely. Cool. Take care of yourself, man.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, bye.